First, we'll begin with some thoracic mobilization, playing around and trying to get as much thoracic extension as you can, feeling that relief in that mid-back. From there, we're going to move into our spinal controlled rotations, moving from one head of the spine to the other in a slow and controlled way. Then from there, play around, sit those hips back, and feel that good stretch, what feels best with you. From there, we're going to work on some thoracic rotation, doing thread the needle with the foam roller, drive that hand into the foam roller, and rotate open through that mid-back. From here, we're going to get into 90-90 position. If this is an uncomfortable position and you can't stay upright, add a pillow or an elevation under that front hip. You want to focus on hinging forward, keeping a nice flat back, making sure as you hinge forward and drive back up, you're pushing that shin, knee, and ankle into the ground away from that chest. From here, we're going to work on some hip internal rotation. We want to keep a nice tall torso, so hinge back as much as you need using the hands for support. We're going to drive those knees in, starting with keeping both hips on the ground. Then from there, those hips can come up and you'll feel a nice good stretch, that inner groin, maybe the outside of the hip area. From here, we're going to be doing some B stance hip hinges. We want to think that the movement is just like a normal hip hinge, but we're trying to load one leg a little bit more. Think 30% through the back leg and about 70% through that front leg. Feel free through this movement to go as wide as you need, as long as those hips are square. Feel a nice good stretch for the hamstrings. Drive the hips through as you push the feet into the ground to stand tall. Next, we'll be performing some controlled shoulder rotations using the wall as external feedback, pushing your hand into the wall as you rotate forward. The closer to the wall, the harder it is for your range of motion, so start away and progress from there. Once again, we want to isolate that shoulder joint, so nice and slow and controlled. And lastly, we'll be performing some wall scapular push-ups. Our focus here is on a small little movement of the shoulder blades sliding together and down, and then from there pushing into the wall to create space between the shoulder blades.